Guys, I've possibly found the worst thing anyone that owns a caravan wants to find. I found a wet patch inside the caravan. It's in the corner. I wouldn't say it's damp, but it's obviously going to turn into damp if I can't figure out where it's coming from. I don't need this right now. Let me show you what I found. Firstly, if you saw our last video, Claire said about, don't worry about doing under here, you're never going to see it. But I wanted to do it anyway. Anyway, this side is all fine. It's when I got to the other side, I made a gruesome discovery. Here we are. If you can see, that back wall there looks a little bit wet. Now, I don't think it's a wall as much as the floor, and it hasn't come all the way out. Like this is solid. This is solid. This is bone dry here. I have got my damp tester, so let's just see how far up this wall it goes. I've got screwdrivers as well, so I might as well start prodding around and see how bad it is. So let's get a little bit of testing going on. 24.1. That is not good. And the floor, 22.4. Let's go a bit further up. So 13.2. Now that isn't dreadful, so I'm hoping it's not spreaded that far. And that's 14.3. 7.9, 9.7, 8.1, 7.8.7. So this is a total disaster and not what I wanted to find, but I'm lucky that I did decide to do that. Now we've got these covers. These are for the bunk beds. And basically this was against that rear wall, so that was hiding it basically. And obviously I carried on sanding. I found it yesterday, I just sanded over it because it looked a lot worse than that. I don't know if where the cover's been touching the wall's been a bit wet and it made it look a lot worse than what it is. But I think it's time to go poking and see how bad this really is. As long as this screwdriver doesn't go straight through the floor, I think we're going to be, well, I'm hoping, and we can find out where the leak's coming from. I'm hoping it hasn't progressed too far. I mean, that's pretty... I'm pushing it hard. You can tell it does. Definitely has a different sound to it as you get closer in. I think we need to get outside, brought the ladder, jump up on the ladder and have a look, see if we can find anything on the top where it could possibly come in from. Before we go any further, I've mentioned them on the channel before, Towfix. If you're in and around the Hertfordshire, Bedfordshire, any of them surrounding routes, and you are after someone to do your caravan servicing, any repairs on your caravan, they do damp repairs, they do everything. They even do Bailey warranty now, I believe. Now he's got a huge workshop here, and one day I will get a clip of his workshop, but he has suggested to check but the marker light. It could be coming in from the top marker light and running down behind the wall onto the floor, and then I think it obviously the wall's soaking the moisture up from the floor because it was on the floor where it was pretty wet. Now I will link the website of Towfix in the description if you are interested. Now that is the marker light in question. It also, the awning rail doesn't look in great condition either. This is a job I was going to wait until the spring and try and reseal all this, but not in February. but needs must, I need to sort something out right now. So let's get up there and have a little look. And as you can see, this looks like definitely has seen better days. And also, I've just noticed there is a bloody crack there. It's definitely a crack, so that could potentially be coming in from there as well. I mean, you've got to excuse the state of my roof, but this all around here, I mean, look, this badly needs doing, badly. I mean, you can see right, it's definitely getting water in there, and this here is all nice and wet as well. What I'm going to do, I'm going to scrape some of this out, and I'm just going to try my best to put some more new sealant around it. Get some sealant down here as well. Look, there's a massive gap. There isn't even no sealant there. But I think this is going to be my first port of call. I mean, look at this. This is what 19 years old sealant looks like. I'm going to scrape out as much as I can, try and clean it up a little bit, whack some sealant on it. I've got some sealant that Paul gave me from Toe Fix, and just try and prevent any more water entering the caravan. Try and dry out, I don't know what the best way of drying it out, but try and dry out that floor and then keep an eye on it, keep a really close eye on it. Right, I've cleaned that up as best I can. There ain't actually no sealant in there to scrape out, so I'm going to put sealant around here, seal all this light back up. Mate, this definitely needs doing 100%. This is going to be a job for in the spring. You can see like here a corrosion, so water is definitely getting in there. Let's get the sealant on. I'm no expert in sealing caravans, so I'll do my best. That's all you can do, innit? Done the best I can at the moment, as it's like an emergency measure. It's not neat, it's not pretty, but I just want to stop that water getting in from wherever it's getting in from. I've basically sealed from there, under this little strap, all the way down the awning rail, down there to about this point here. Gone around the light fitting. Hopefully that will prevent any more water getting in if that's where it is coming in from. And this crack area, I've sealed that up as well. We do have rain forecast for the next 4 days, so I'm hoping if it's still leaking, I'm going to get signs of it is still leaking, and then I'm going to have to go back up there with a sealant. But drop it in the comments. How am I going to dry this out? It's not a massive patch, it's just for patch, tiny patch in the corner, and probably about this far up the wall. I'm thinking hairdryer? No, I don't know. I've got a heat gun, obviously on low setting. I do not want to be setting light to the caravan. Anyway, if you've got any suggestions, please drop them in the comments, and any more suggestions on how this has happened or what I could do to prevent it getting any worse. I'm going to lay some kitchen roll down, just see how we go, and I will update. But it's solid, mate. It is definitely solid. I know this bit looks probably worse than what it is. Like I said, the cushion was touching it, and obviously I've moved it, and I think the moisture has on the cushion and that has just caused it to go a little bit mouldy. But this all sounds the same to me. Praying to God that we've caught it in time. Like I said, she is 19 years old. You're gonna get this. You get it in 5-year-old vans, so for this to be 19 years old, and that's the first sign of damp I've come across. Maybe I've been a bit hard on myself, thinking, is that it? Do we scrap the caravan now? We're not going to be doing that. We're going to see how it goes. We're going to keep on it, and I'm definitely going to get up there once the better weather comes, and I'm going to seal the whole lot. Look, we've done all this work. I don't want it to go to waste, but on the other hand, I'm not going to beat myself up about it too much, because we won't be keeping this caravan forever, and when it's time to let it go, we'll either give it away or we'll part exit or whatever. Depends what condition it's in. Anyway, guys, I will keep you updated on the moisture or damp or water or leak, whatever you want to call it. I will keep everyone updated and let you know if it gets worse, or hopefully, fingers crossed, we've solved the issue.